continue, guys. Now we will know more interesting information about seahorses, as we said before in the first video. Now the reading part. But be focused, because every paragraph we will need to give main idea of it. Okay, let's start with paragraph A. Seahorses are beautiful and unusual fish that have captured the imagination of writers and artists for millennia, and which feature in the ancient mythology, legends, and folklore of many countries. Seahorses seems to be magical that to his very day. Many people still believe that only exist in children's stories, but the fact is these delicate and childlike creatures are very real. Okay, let's try to get the main idea of this paragraph. As we read here, we can give the main idea of this paragraph, that the seahorses are unique and magical animals. And in the paragraph B, we will know why we call it as a magical animal. Okay, let's continue paragraph B. Scientists believe that seahorses evolved at least 40 million years ago. You can imagine that? And have survived for ancient times with only very small changes in their body structures and functions. Seahorses have a peculiar appearance. They have a head like a horse, a paws like a kangaroo, and a long curved tail like a monkey. Their little bodies are covered in bony plaques, not scales like fish, and their tiny eyes resemble shells. Because of their confusing anatomy, for many years people didn't know whether seahorses were fish, an insect, or a shellfish. They are confusing. Seahorses were fish, or an insect, or a seahorse. Today scientists know without a doubt that the seahorses are fish because they have gills, swim bladders, and fins. That's why they called seahorses like a fish. Okay, let's try to give the main idea of this paragraph B. Yes, as you see here, we can get the main idea of this paragraph, that seahorses have a very unusual appearance. Seahorses really have a very unusual appearance. Okay, let's start with paragraph C and read this amazing information about seahorses. Seahorses live mostly in shallow, warm waters, and they are not strong swimmers, using only a back fin and a pair of tiny fins behind their eyes to push them through the water. Seahorses spend a lot of time attached to seaweed or seagrass. They are able to hang on to seagrass and seaweed by wrapping their tails around the stern, which helps them to avoid being swept away by strong currents. While they hang from seagrass, their long tube-like mouth, which has no teeth, acts like a hover for food. You can imagine that? Let's continue. Sucking up plankton. Strangely, seahorses have no stomach, and so they can't store their food, and this means they have to eat very continuously throughout the day. Okay, let's start now to give the main idea of this paragraph. As you see here, we can give the main idea of this paragraph, how seahorses live and survive. Okay, let's continue with paragraph D. Another unique characteristic of seahorses is that they, along with their cousins, the pipefish, the pipefish, are the only creatures in the animal kingdom where the male, not the female, becomes pregnant. Focus. The male, not the female, becomes pregnant. and give birth to babies. Yes. The female produces eggs and places them in a pouch inside the male. And that's why the male here who be pregnant. Where they are fertilized, the male gives birth to between 5 and 200 young. Amazingly, just a few hours after the male gives birth, the female will once again place eggs in the male's pouch. And what's more, it will be the same female because seahorses mate for life. Okay, let's try to give the main idea of this paragraph. As you see here, seahorses reproduce in an unusual way. Okay, let's start with paragraph E. Sadly, seahorses are in danger all over the world. Their habitats are being destroyed by human activities. People catch seahorses for pets and for souvenirs. In Asia, people believe seahorses have magical powers, so they are used in traditional Chinese medicine. The most endangered seahorses in the world is the Kansan seahorses, which is only found in South Africa. The reason it's in grave danger is that it has an exceptionally limited distribution range. It's only found in 3 stages in the whole of the South Africa. Unless these stages are conserved, South Africa will lose its only seahorse species for good. Okay, let's try here, guys, to give the main idea of this paragraph E. As you see here, seahorses are endangered. Okay, let's try to answer this question, please. It's all about the passage that we read about the seahorses. It choose best answer according to the text and give the reason for your answers. Okay, let's start with the first one. Some people are convinced that seahorses, and let's choose from A, B, or C, D, are too small and tempted to survive, or are imaginary creatures. C, should features in more children's stories, and D, have the ability to perform magic. Let's try to choose which one is the correct answer. Yes, as you said, it's B, are imaginary creatures. Okay, question number 2. Scientists believe modern day seahorses. Let's try to get the correct answer here from A, B, C, D. Look very similar to prehistoric seahorses or are able to change their body structure, may be related to the chameleon, have poor eyesight. Yes, as you see here, the correct answer is A. Look very similar to prehistoric seahorses. Okay, let's try with the third question. Seahorses attach themselves to seaweed and seagrass. Let's try to choose the correct one in order to eat it, using their mouths and tails to stay safe in rough waters when they want to travel long distance. Yeah, the correct answer is C, to stay safe in rough waters. Question number 4. Eating for seahorses is difficult as they don't have teeth, takes up a lot of their time, involves storing plankton in their bodies, require them and chew continuously. As you see, the correct answer here too is B, takes up a lot of their time. Question number 5. When it comes to reproduction, seahorses, let's try to choose the correct answer here too. Like to mate with as many different seahorses as possible, or are the only fish whose males give birth, or are pregnant more or less continuously, at last give a birth to very small numbers of young. As you see here, the correct answer is yes, good. Are pregnant to more or less continuously. Give birth to very small numbers of young. Okay, yes, are pregnant to more or less continuously is the correct answer. Good, guys. Let's start with the last one. The Kansan seahorses is the rarest of South Africa's 3 seahorses species, or is used as medicine in some cultures. or is found throughout South Africa, or at last is in more danger than any other seahorse species? Yeah, the correct answer is D, is in more danger than any other seahorse species. Okay guys, that's now enough. See you in the next video. Bye.